Hey everyone, welcome back to Mobile Mate, where I teach you how to code right from your phone. Today we are learning one of the most powerful bases in Python, and which is data type and variable. And here is the exciting part. These bases are the building block for automation, machine learning, and web development, in which we are going to be teaching on this YouTube channel. So let's dive right into it. Think of a variable like a storage box on your phone. You put something inside, like let's say number or text, then you give it a label, and you then use it for later. Here on the screen is a simple example of how to use a variable. So the first line of code here is a name, a variable called name, which is used to represent John. So you can see on the screen that we have a name, then which equals to John in a quotation mark. So that quotation mark signifies a string. Then in the second line of the code, we see age equals to 22. Then in the fourth line of the code, we are seeing print into parentheses my name is, comma name, and then the next one is print into parentheses I am, comma age, comma years old. So I'm going to explain all this. So what does it mean? It means that, just like I explained the other time, that you think of a variable like a storage box on your phone, that you put something into a carton or something and then you label it. For instance, you put John into the carton of name, then you label that carton name so that you can identify for later use. Then if you check the code here, you discover that in the fourth line of code, we used the name there. I'm going to run this code and you are going to understand everything I'm explaining here. So in the second line of the code, we see that you put the number 22 in a carton, name, age. So now you see in the fifth line of code that we use that carton in the place of 22. So, and let me just run the code so that you understand everything I'm trying to say. Wow, this is exciting. You can see that we have my name is John, I'm 22 years old. What does it mean? It means that the name that was used in fourth line of code is John, and the age that is used in the fifth line of code is 22. Now I'm going to explain data type with real life example. So numbers are super important in machine learning, and then let's say we want to calculate, or let me say predict, the average price of houses. Here on the screen is an example of how to do that. So from the previous explanation I had the other time, I said variables used to contain a particular value. Now you can see on your screen now that we have a house price that contains different values here, like a list. I'm still going to explain what a list is. Then we have an average price which contains a particular calculation. So when we look at it very well, we discover that this is a sum function that sum all the values in that list for house prices, then divided by the length of house prices. If you see it very well, you discover that we have how many number of prices in these house prices. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. So we are adding all this together, then summing it together, then dividing it with the number of each price. So the number of the price here is 4. We are dividing it by 4. So therefore we are printing it out as average house price is that exact number we stored here. So now let me just show you how it's going to look like. So boom, then we have average house price is this. So we have successfully calculate using Python the average price of the houses. So what is a string? Strings are just text, and in web development you deal with strings all the time. Let's say you are looking for your username, your messages, the post, and all that. So here on the screen is a simple example of a string. So a variable called username containing a name, and then we have a welcome message, welcome back plus the name. So we are printing this welcome message, and we are going to see something like welcome back Tomiwa. So let's print it out. Then boom, we have it on the screen. So that is a simple example of what a string is. What is boolean? Booleans are true or false values. They are useful in automation for making decisions. So for example, you have something like this. You see today equals Sunday, then is Sunday equals, so if today is the same thing as Sunday, then it will return true. So if this statement is true, then we have to print out, okay, don't forget to go to church today, else then no reminder needed, because what all this is just trying to say is that we are trying to automate a message. Maybe we are sending a WhatsApp automation, then we want to send a message at a particular day. Say we want to send message on Sunday, so we need boolean to be able to check if that particular day is Sunday. If it's not Sunday, then we are going to send a totally different message. But if it's on Sunday, we are going to send the message that is meant to be sent right on Sunday. Let's run this code and see if it's going to work. So yes, it sent message because the day is on Sunday. Yes, today is on Sunday. But if I change this today to let's say Monday, then you are going to see that it's going to print out no reminder needed. So that is a simple automation using boolean. So what is the list? Lists are for storing multiple values. They are for storing multiple items. So think of a list as a playlist or maybe a to-do list, whereby you have different of activities or different of assignments you wanted to do, then you list them out. So that is the same thing as for list. So let me give you an example of a list here now. Then we have something like this. Then you see the number one variable which are taxes is number one is to read Python book, to write code, and to pray. Then we can print out the first tax, which is this is how to print out the first tax. You just see it there, and then you can print out all the taxes. Then we have another example here where we talk about temperature. Then we store different kind of temperature. Then we can sum all those temperatures, numbers of temperatures together, and divide it by the total number of the temperature in that particular list, then so that we can get the average temperature there. So this is just a simple way of calculating for average. So I've explained that earlier. So let's see how it's going to work here. So we see that the first task is to read Python book, which was in the list. Then all the tasks was listed out here that okay, read Python book, write code, then pray. Then we have the average temperature being calculated by adding all those temperatures together and divided by the number of temperature. So that is a very simple way of explaining what a list is. What is a tuple? Tuple are lists, but the difference between tuple and a list is they don't change. They are immutable. Lists can change. You can change a list. You can change the value of a particular number of a list, but you can't change a tuples. So they are perfect for things like coordinates. So let me give you an example of that. So we have a location here. This is a coordinate in which doesn't change. Then we print that coordinate out. So let's see how it's going to look out. Boom. Then we have something like this. Visitor location. Then we have the coordinate there. So this is a simple example of how to explain a tuple. So what is a dictionary? Dictionaries are key value pairs like JSON data in API. Oh, that might sound too complex, but trust me, I'm going to break all these things down when we start learning web development using Django right on your mobile phone. We are going to be writing all these codes and we are going to be running them, deploying them, and then see them work. So for example, on this screen now we have an example of dictionary. Dictionary is whenever you see a curly bracket there, you have to understand that is a dictionary. And then talking about key and value, the first strings there, username, is a key with a value mobile coder. Then the second one there, another value there, but not all the structure of this code, because we have the key, then you have a semicolon, then you have the value, then you have a comma, then you have another key which is h, then another semicolon, and then we have a number which is a value as well, then we have another comma, then we have another string which is admin, then we have a semicolon, then we have a boolean which is true. So we are able to check, we are able to print out, this is a user, then we are able to print out the username, and then if the user is an admin or not. So all these things are very important and very useful in web development. So when we begin to write our Django or Flask, we begin to understand how these things work, how the login and authentications works, how the backend functionality works. So they are very, very important. They are key to understanding how to enter into web development. So stick around. I'm going to be showing you how this code here works. So let me just click on the play button, then you see it. Boom. Then you see that we have user called mobile coder. Then it's mobile coder and admin. Yes, true. So we have that there. So all of that is being stored in a JSON file, like using dictionary. Now let's combine everything we've learned into a simple tiny project. This is a fake login system. Alright, so here you see I store a user into a dictionary, a user with a name called Tomiwa, and then we have the password, and we have the age, then another user called Hada, then the password, then the age. So from there now we want to this is an input function now for the user, and I want to get, enter your username, then enter your password. Then if your username in user, then if your username in user and your username password is equals to password, then we are going to print out welcome username. So what I'm just trying to explain here is that this system I just built now is to check whether what you input is correct with what is in the dictionary. So let's see if it's going to work. So let's say I enter the username to be that same Tomiwa, then I enter it, then I enter a password, maybe 432, then it said invalid login. So because it doesn't match the login password that is there. So now let's say I want to use the correct login, 1234. Then if I come here and I put in Tomiwa, then I have 1234. You see, welcome Tomiwa, your age is 22. So that is just how to do a very simple login using all that. You see that something as simple as variable and data type can power automation, machine learning, and even web development. Stick around. I'm going to be taking you through other concepts in Python, and then we will dive into web development, how to automate big projects, and how to do some machine learning AI agent using just your phone on Pydroid. Support the channel by liking this video, subscribe to join the mobile made community, and leave a comment. Thank you so much.